Hello everyone and welcome to another tutorial from Love Life Yarn. My name is Amanda Saladin and today I'll be showing you how to make the Rasta Mittens. You can find more than 70 free patterns at love.life.yarn.com. What you'll need for this project is one skein of the super bulky Rasta yarn from Malabrigo, a size L, which is an 8mm hook, and a P, which is an 11.5mm hook, also a yarn needle, and a stitch marker. Okay, let's get started. You'll need your smaller hook. Here is my size L, and you're going to tie your slip knot on here. Now leave a long tail. See, I always forget, so I'm going to pull a long tail because you're going to sew up the ribbing with that later. So I'm trying to leave a tail that's pretty long for my slip knot. There we go. Nice long tail so you can sew up your ribbing. So we'll start with the ribbing and work our way up to the top. And you're going to chain 9. Good thing about this super bulky yarn is that it works up really fast and you don't need a lot of stitches. Okay, there's my 9, and we're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook and each chain down the row. I personally like to work into the backs of the loops, as you can see here. I just found that little loop there and I work into it. And so you just keep working down all the chains. Sometimes they get a little tight and you can just use your fingernail to help you get it in. Okay, and the last one. Alright, so there we go. Now I have 8 stitches, and we're going to turn and chain 1. Okay, and this is row 2. You're going to repeat this. Now we're going to work in the back of the stitch, not right here where you normally work in, but we're going to slip through the middle and work just in the back loop. Okay, see, I'm going to split the stitch, work in the back loop, and you're going to repeat that all the way down your 8 stitches. And then from to make your cuff, you're just going to repeat this one row. You'll turn your work and just work into the back loop only. Makes a nice ribbed texture. Okay, so turn and then work 18 rows total, back loop only. Just right across and back. Okay, here are my 18 rows. And you can see I kind of, especially when I was designing this, I kept trying it on, seeing how long it needed to be. So try it on, you or the person you're making for if possible. And I like to go ahead and seam up my cuff. So I'm going to take out my hook here and get my yarn needle, thread it through, and I want to go ahead and seam this. I used to leave it open when I would do mittens, but I find it easier to work and to try it on if it's actually seamed first. So I just work through one loop of the ribbing. So I'm going to catch, split the stitch right here and catch that loop. And then the other side. And just keep working all the way up till you get to the very top, and then you can weave in the end if you like already, or if you prefer to wait until the end, you can also do that. So just keep working your way up to the top. Okay, we've seamed up our ribbing here, and we're ready to sew it change to our larger hook. I have my size P hook here. You're going to chain 1, and we're working 13 single crochet around. So go ahead and work in the same stitch and pull up to make it looser right here, because you're going to end up working into that loop. So make it nice and loose, or it's going to be very difficult. Okay, every time I kind of pull up a little bit and just go around. You have 18 rows of single crochet, and we want 13 stitches, so you're going to have to skip 5 rows. I try to space mine out evenly. It does not have to be perfect. And just make your way around. Keep working your way all the way around. Don't forget to pull up the loop to make it looser. Okay, and I'm down to my last couple of stitches. Alright, and 13. And now we're going to need to get our stitch marker out to make sure that we can keep track of our rounds. Okay, for round 2, we're going to work even in the waistcoat stitch. So this stitch depends on working into the V. So we're not going to be working into a traditional space you would think of for single crochet. You want to work into this V here, right in the middle. So force your hook through. So I'm saying you want to pull it up nice and loose to help with this. Make it loose again. And then you're ready to go to the next V. Put it right in the middle of this stitch. Okay, and you're just going to work all the way around like this, nice and even. And put your stitch marker in place. And single crochet into this V stitch of every stitch around. Okay, we've come to the end of our round, and now we're ready to work our thumb shaping. Okay, right here in this V. So we're going to work 2 single crochets into this V stitch right here, the very first one. So go ahead and work 1 and another one in the same space. Okay, we're increasing for the thumb. And now single crochet in the next one. And work 2 single crochet in the next stitch. Oh, and I forgot to put my stitch marker in, so I'm going to count back and get that in right here. So I had 2 single crochet together, then 1, 2, right here is my first stitch. And now you're just going to work even in single crochet the rest of the way around doing the waistcoat stitch. Okay, so I'm down to the end here. I'm going to increase again for my thumb. And so again, we're working 2 single crochet into this first stitch here. Okay, I'm going to go right back in that same space. And now I'm going to single crochet 3, but I'm going to put my marker in so I don't forget this time. And now single crochet 3, just like normal. And now I'm going to work 2 single crochet in this next stitch. and then single crochet around to the end using the waistcoat stitch. Okay, in this round you're going to work it the same as the other two. Work 2 single crochet in here, and then single crochet 5, 2 single crochet in the next stitch, and then work the waistcoat stitch around. Okay, we have finished increasing for the thumb, so now I'm going to put my marker out here. I'm going to chain 1, and we're going to skip 7 stitches. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and we're going to work right in here where we increased on the last round. Okay, now work even around in the waistcoat stitch. Okay, so we've right here it's easy to tell where you started because of this chain 1 space, so I didn't put my marker on that round. You can try it on and see how it fits your thumb there. Okay, see how far that we've come in a very short amount of time. So we're ready to work the hand portion now. Go ahead and single crochet in this chain 1 space and then work the waistcoat stitch around. Now I'm going to go and put my marker back in so I don't forget which is the first stitch. And just work the waistcoat stitch. You're going to end up working 6 rows even in the waistcoat stitch. Okay. And then we'll close the top. So just go ahead evenly, just moving your stitch marker as you need to, work 6 rounds even. Okay, we've come to the top of our hand and we're ready to set up the first row. So we're going to single crochet 6, just working where we need an even number for our decreases. So we're going to take it down from 13 to 12. So go and put your stitch marker back in. Okay, and here's our third stitch. And I find my loops get tighter as I get to the top, so I really try to make an effort to make them looser, but as you can see, I'm having a little trouble getting some of these in, so always think about keeping your tension loose when working this particular stitch. Okay, now we're ready to single crochet these two together, so draw up a loop from the middle, and then in the next stitch, insert and draw up a loop, and now yarn over and draw through all 3, and that's going to decrease by 1. So now single crochet 5 to the end of this round. Well, now that we've worked the setup row, we are ready to begin our decreasing for the top. So it's a simple repeat, and for our first round, we're just going to do a regular single crochet in the waistcoat stitch in the first, and then single crochet 2 together, just like we did on the last round. See, I did this one kind of tight. I'm going to force my hook in here, drop a loop, insert into the next one, drop a loop, yarn over, and draw through all the loops. Okay, I'm going to place my stitch marker, and you're just going to repeat that around. Okay, single crochet, and then single crochet 2 together. And now for our last round, you can see it's closing up here. We're just going to work single crochet 2 together all the way around to close up the top. Okay, so do that 4 times. You'll end up with 4 stitches at the top. Okay, so now we have closed up the top, and we're going to want to fasten off. So cut your yarn, leaving a decent tail. Yeah, and then this is the way I like to weave my yarn through. Of course, you're going to take your stitch marker out. And I use my hook and at first to do this. I just go ahead and I put it in a stitch and draw that through, and then I go on the other side, put it through a stitch and pull that through, and just kind of go back and forth, making sure that I catch both loops. Let's find that loop. There it is. And I'm just going to close up the top. Okay, so when you're done, pull it tightly, and then we're going to get out a yarn needle, because when you try it on, you may see that there's like a hole in it. See how this, like my fingers come out? So you can use your yarn needle to sew that closed, because when you have super bulky yarn, sometimes it just tends to leave a hole, and it's no problem. Take care of it with sewing it closed with the tail. So just thread it through, and anytime you see a space like this, you want to go ahead and just close it. So take your yarn and go under some loops like this and pull, and then this is the area where we were having trouble with the fingers sticking out, so we want to go through this and just get it closed as much as we can. Definitely try it on again before you weave in your end and see how you did. So I'm going to try mine on, and you can see now it has closed at a tiny bit there. I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that, but it's definitely better than it was. So I'm going to close this little gap, keep my finger nice and toasty. There we go, it looks better. And then when you weave in your ends, if you have any pieces kind of sticking up like this, you can easily take it down and kind of hide it in the inside. And there is the top, so you'll just pull it through the middle, and then you will weave in your ends on the inside. Well, now we are ready for our thumb shaping. We're going to join right here at that chain 1 space. So get your hook into the chain 1 space. And let's draw up. Draw my loop if I can connect my yarn here. Now chain 1. Now, to kind of close the gap here, we're going to single crochet together this chain 1 space and the first stitch. So go find this first stitch right here and draw up a loop in it as well. And then you're going to yarn over and draw through all 3. And now single crochet in the next 4. I'm going to go ahead and place my stitch marker so I don't lose my space. Okay, now we're going to single crochet 2 together in these last 2 stitches as well because we don't want our thumb to be enormous. So go ahead and single crochet these 2 together. And now we're ready to join. So turn and find your very first stitch. Okay, now you're just going to work 3 rounds even in the wainscot stitch. So I'm just working around on these rows. And to close it up, we're going to single crochet 2 together around, which will leave us with 3 stitches. So to close the top, just go ahead and single crochet around, and then if you have a hole here at the end like this, you can use this tail to kind of sew it up like we did at the top. And weave in your ends, and that is it. Your mitten knit is done. Hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Be sure to check out the other free patterns on my blog and subscribe for more.